See, I request all of you, please mute yourself. Okay. Now, yesterday we have seen how to load the data, from a flat file to a SQL Server destination table. Okay. So in that process, so we have created this particular package. Ali, can you hear me? Ali? All of you, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So in that process, we have created this particular file. So this task is for what? In order to clean the table. I mean, clean the table means, so whenever we are loading the data, so first of all, we were cleaning the table and then we were loading the data. Okay. And this data flow task, this is the place where actual data is loading from source to destination. Okay. Go to this flat file source and destination. So yesterday when we were closing the session, yesterday when we are about to close the session, so we have discussed one point. What is that? So we haven't created any ETL process as of now. Okay, so even though the main functionality of SSIS is ETL, so we haven't done any ETL process as of now. Okay, so how to prepare and how to implement that ETL approach? Okay, so what you mean by ETL approach? ETL approach is extraction, transformation and loading. Okay, extraction, transformation and loading. So where the transformation will comes into the picture, so when we are actually looking for the transformations. Okay, see, extraction, E stands for retrieving the data, okay, absorbing the data, okay, accepting the data from the source. Okay, and then transformation. What you mean by transformation? Transformation in the sense changing the data. What is that? Changing the data. So what we need to change and why we need to change the data? See, in order to satisfy all the business requirements, we will change the data. And then L means what? Loading the data. Okay, loading the data to where? Into the destination. Okay, loading the data to the destination. So this is how we are going to do as part of ETL process. Okay, so but here as per the example what we have practiced, so we have practiced only this one and this one, so we haven't practiced transformation as of now. Okay, so when exactly we will look for the transformation? Okay, so what are the situation which will lead us to think about the transformations? Okay, so these things I'm going to start from today onwards. Okay. So today the main concept is what? Transformation, which will comes under between source and destination. Okay. Now, first of all, what you mean by transformation? Change. Okay. So where we will need to apply this particular change. So change can be applied after the data can be received from the source component. Okay, change can be applied after the data can be received from the SSIS component. Okay, so whenever we are loading the data, what is the destination table? Source file destination. Select star from C. This is the file. See, total how many rows here? 45 rows. And you can see same 45 rows here. So whatever the data that is available here, okay, whatever the data that is available here in the same format that you can see the data. Okay, so name, age, gender, name, age, gender, Narendra 28M, Narendra 28M. So I have the data in this, I have the data in the flat file like this, and I have loaded the same data into the destination table like this. Okay, so this is what I have loaded yesterday in our example. This is what the data which I have loaded yesterday with the help of SSIS package. Now, so what I want to do today, so in today's session I just want to implement another approach. Okay, so what is that approach? I don't want to load the data in this format. Okay, so my requirement would be all the name column values should be changed to capital case. What is that? All the name column values should be changed to capital case, and all the gender column values too should be changed to small case. Right now, what is the data? What is the data pattern here? So the name column values, okay, the name column values are in unit cap method. What is that? Unit cap. Unit cap in the sense initial letter is a capital case and rest of the characters are in small case. Okay, and gender column values. What do you mean by gender column values? Gender column values, all the gender column values in capital case at the moment. Now I want to change all the gender column values to small case. Okay, so this is what we need to understand about the table. Okay, so name Narendra. Okay, so gender, so the value the Narendra, so right now N is a capital case and rest of the values, rest of the characters are in small case. Okay, now and gender capital case M. What is the format that I want to change? So I want to change the name column should be completely capital case like this. Like this, and gender column values at the moment like this. Okay, I want to convert it to like this. Okay, so this value has to be converted like this. So this value has to be converted like this, and this value has to be converted like this. Okay, so what we need to do in order to perform this particular change? So do we need to change the source data? No. Don't never touch the source data. Source data should be available as it is. Okay, we should not change the source data. So once we got the data to SSIS, so that means what? The ball comes to our court. Then we can change the data to whatever the format that we want to change. Okay, if you change the source data, then what is the purpose of transformation here? Nothing, right? That is the reason we should not change the data which is coming from the source. We should change the data once after the data coming from the source. Okay, so once the data will be available in SSIS, then we can apply all the logics, all the formulas over the data in order to change it to particular format. Okay, so that is the reason. So I'm just selecting this one, I'm just removing. Why? Because see, source, destination. So what is the component that we need to put in middle? Transformation. That is the reason I have removed that particular change. Okay, now the transformation, what we can use the transformation called character map. Okay, so why? Because so we are dealing with the characters. Okay, we are dealing with the string related characters. Okay, that is the reason what is the transformation that we need here. So we need character map. Okay, so now try to open this one. Sorry, select this one, provide this one. So which column values you want to change? One first is the name column, another one is gender column. So we will go one after another. Okay, name column. What is the destination? I mean, in our requirements discussion, so did I tell anything about the new column? No, I want to change the data of the existing column, right? That is the reason we don't need any new column. just select in place change. What you mean by in place change? The data will be available in the same column itself, but it got changed. Okay. Operation. What is that operation? Uppercase. Click on OK. Now, and gender. So this is also in place change. So operation I want to apply lowercase. Simple. And then that's it. So as per my understanding, all the name column values should be changed to capital case and all the gender column values should be changed to lowercase. Name column values uppercase, gender column values lowercase. Okay. Just to click on OK. And then connect to this one. Save. Go to mappings. Okay. Do we need to change any mappings here? No. Okay. Execute. Everything is done. So now it is a complete ETL. What is that? This is E and this is T and this is L. Okay. Extraction, transformation and loading. So I have extracted the data from a flat file. I have provided to the transformation in order to change the data from lowercase to uppercase, uppercase to lowercase. And then whatever the data that I have changed, I'm loading the data into the destination. That is called a SQL Server table. So this is a complete set of ETL process that I'm implementing in this package. Now let me execute this package and I will show you how the output available. Okay. Now just execute. So how many rows are there here? Right now 45 rows are there. Now let me execute the package. $45 rows and 45 rows. Okay. So go to control flow. This got executed. So what happens if this particular task got executed? That means whatever the data that is available earlier, see this data will not be available now. So this is the result set of earlier selection, of earlier execution. If I execute, the same 45 rows will be displayed in a different way. You can see the data. So name completely capital case. So gender completely small case. Okay. So this is what change in the data. Okay. This is what change in the data. So in that, whenever you want to apply the changes over the data other than the data loading process, you must use the transformation. Transformation is nothing but the changing the data process for any type of requirement, not only for this requirement, for any requirement. With any requirement, if you change the data, you must need the component called transformation, which is very, very important in the data flow task. Okay. So this is how we can implement the ETL process. So anybody having any doubts in this process?
Narendra.
Yep.
Yeah, if you want to only one the first letter uppercase and rest of them lowercase.
Then actually this particular transformation will not be possible with that. So what we can do, see, this is a straightforward changing, whether it is a lowercase or uppercase. Of course there are other transformations also, but the data should not be supported for this operations. Byte reversal, hiragana, katakana, there are so many other formats. So these particular formats will be useful for the binary values, not for these values. For the strings, only two operations will be available. Okay, lowercase and uppercase. So if you want to change the data, in initCap method, what we can do, there is another transformation that is called derived column. Okay, so this is the transformation where you can apply all the string functions. Okay, in order to change your data, you can apply all the string functions in this transformation. In future, I will show you how we are going to change the data.
Okay.
One by one. This is the first session, right, for a transformation. Okay, so for our understanding, I'm just creating this package as the first package 01 demo of ETL. Okay, this is the first package. Okay, now so close this one, save, and right click here, click on new SSS package. So from we have started the transformation. So from next, what is the next example? So from this particular from today onwards, the next 3-4 days, we are going to discuss only transformations. Okay, what are the available transformations in SQL? Okay, I mean available means there are so many, but we are going to discuss the very important transformations which we are using in the real time. Okay, our main focus will be for the next 3 to 4 days is only transformations. Okay, now, so where the transformations will be available in the data flow task. Okay, in the data flow task only transformations are available. Let us open. Okay, so we have seen one transformation that is called character map. Okay, so what is the first transformation that we need to discuss? Aggregate. Okay, so transformation starts with the common and ends with the other transformations. Okay, so what is the first transformations in the aggregate? Sorry, in the list of transformations, aggregate. So this particular aggregate transformations is mainly useful for the users in whenever you want to apply any aggregate operations over the data. So you are getting the data, so some amount of data. So instead of loading the data as it is into the destination, so you want to load only the aggregated information. Okay, you want to load only aggregated information, not all the information. At that particular situation, we can use this aggregate transformations. Okay, so what are the aggregate operations that we can do on the data? Can anyone tell me? So by using this particular table, so it's a very well-known table. So by using this particular table, total 17 rows are there. Okay. So what are the operations that we can do? Aggregate operations that we can do on the data. I have explained all the aggregate operations and aggregate functions. So what we can do on the data? There are so many scenarios. Okay, there are so many scenarios. Okay, so we can show the number of employees for each department. That is one aggregate function scenario. Or else we can display the salaries information of all the departments. That is another aggregate function uses. And we can display the number of people working for each job category. That is the third scenario. Okay, like this, so many scenarios, not only one scenario. There are so many scenarios that I can show you with the aggregate operations. Okay, now in this particular situation, so I want to show you one meaningful scenario with the help of aggregate transformation. Okay, so what is that? Select. I want to show you the salary information per each department. Okay, so now department number, comma, sum of salary as total salary. Okay, and max of maximum salary, min of average salary from EMP department number. Okay, let us execute this particular. So I want to derive all this information from the table data. See, okay, so per each department, this is the data what we are having. Okay, now this information I have derived from this table directly. Okay, there is a lot of difference between this table and this table. Okay, so this is the raw data and this is the aggregated data. Okay, so how we can retrieve this type of information? Suppose from the source we are getting all the data, but we don't want all the data. We don't need any details. We want only that aggregated information like this. So if you want to provide the data, if you want to retrieve the data in this particular format from the source data, so which transformation you can apply? The transformation that is aggregate. Okay, so with the help of aggregate transformations, so you can apply all the aggregate functions over the data that you can retrieve this data. So department number 10, So total salary is 9,750. Maximum salary is 5,000. Minimum salary is 2,300. Average salary is 3,250. Okay. Now, how we will show the data? See, what is where the source data is available in the SQL Server database only. Okay, that is the reason I have taken OLEDB source. Okay, so double click on this. So OLEDB connection manager. Do we have any existing connections? No. Just click on new. See, this is the our connection. Just select this one. Click on OK. So what is the table? Which table we need to use? Employee table. Okay, go to columns. Verify all the columns are coming properly or not. Okay. Okay. Now, so based on what column we are doing all these operations. So first of all, department number. Why? Because we are grouping by the department number. So here you can see the query also. Group by department number from the table employee. Okay. Group by department number. Obviously this column will comes in a select list. Operation. What operation? Group by operation. Okay. And then salary. Okay. So sum automatically by default this operation will be selected. You can select any one of the operation. Okay. Salary. Total salary. Okay. And again the next column also salary. Okay. So this is the operations. These are the operations what I want to apply on the table. Just to click on OK. Now, so where we need to load the data in the SQL Server table. Okay, that is the reason. Okay, so just double click. So this is the destination connection. Okay, this is the destination connection. So do we have any existing table to accommodate this data? No, we don't have any existing table to accommodate this data. So just click on new. Okay, it will gives you a new table with the desired structure. Okay, now I'm just giving the name called aggregated. Okay, aggregated destination. Okay, and then go to mappings. Verify all the columns with the necessary columns. Just click on OK. Now execute. See how many rows are converted to how many rows? 17 rows from the source table has given to aggregate transformation. Aggregate transformation has applied all the formulas over the data and then provided the necessary 6 rows to the OLEDB destination. Okay, now you can see here. Select a star from aggregated destination. You can see. Let me display all the data at a time. The two result sets. Okay, so please look into these two result set, and did you find any difference? These two, nothing. Why? Because see, this particular result set I have achieved through SQL statement. Okay, the same SQL functions will be applicable in the aggregated transformation also in order to retrieve the data in this format. Okay, so this is how. So the reason why I have explained you with the SQL logic is, so we were more comfortable with the SQL to understand the concept. Then it will be helpful for me to explain the same scenarios in SSIS also. Okay, I just want to show you the dependency between SQL and SSIS and total MSBI. Okay, so you should not be like, you don't need to be a expert in SQL, at least some basic functions. Okay, some string functions, date functions, mathematical functions, and this aggregate functions. If you know how these functions working, you can happily work with the MSBI as well. I mean, particularly for SSIS. Okay, for advanced concepts of SQL, it will help you to understand SSRS and SSAS. That is a later point of time. So right now, this is the transformation that we have discussed. Any doubts in this process? Sure, Madhu. I will explain once again. Let me ask you if anybody having any doubts. Then I will explain. Anybody having any doubts? Please tell me.
Good.
Okay, fine. Now, see, Madhu, actually this aggregate transformation is mainly useful to perform aggregated operations over the data. Okay, so I have this particular data as a source. Okay, no, I don't want to load the data as it is into the SQL Server table. Okay, I want to apply some aggregated operations on the data, and then I want to load that calculated data. See, what you mean by calculations? With the aggregate operations, with the aggregate functions, so we can perform some operations on the data. So what kind of operations? So we can count the maximum number of rows, sorry, we can count to the number of rows, we can calculate the maximum salary, we can calculate the minimum salary. Okay, these are the things that we can do over the data. Okay, so exactly same kind of operations I want to apply on this data. I don't want to load all these details into the table, because the details will not give me any clear picture over the process. Okay, that is the reason I want to load only calculated information. Okay, that calculated information, see how I can calculate and how I can represent the data. Okay, see, in this particular scenario, so I have applied these functions over the data. You can see I have applied these functions over the data. Now you can see, so I have taken aggregate transformation, and you can see salary, total salary, maximum, minimum, average. So all these functions will be applicable in the source. What is the source table? EMP table. Okay, EMP table is the source table. So on the source table, I have applied all these functions, and I have loaded the data into the table called aggregated destination. Okay, so this is the data what we have loaded. Okay, and this is how that aggregate functions will be applicable. Okay, got it, Madhu? Okay, anybody having any doubts after this? No doubts, right? Okay, we'll go to the next concept. Let me give a name called aggregated transformation for this particular example. 0 to aggregate transformation. Okay, now just give me 1 minute. I will come back and I will tell you another transformation that is called, okay, not a problem here. I will explain conditional split. Okay, 1 minute, I will come. See, the next transformation that we want to discuss is conditional split transformation. So what is this conditional split transformation? This particular transformation will be helpful to split the data. Okay, so splitting is nothing but what? Dividing the data. Okay, splitting is nothing but what? Dividing, segregating. Okay, so how can we segregate the data? Based on the condition. Okay, so based on any condition, based on any given condition, if we can segregate the data, so that is possible with a conditional split transformation. Okay, so let us say, for example, you have collected a large amount of data. Okay, somebody has asked you to segregate the data into two tables or two different destinations based on the gender. I mean, all the female genders into one destination, all the male genders into another destination. So how you will apply this condition on the data, and then how you will segregate the data? So in that situations, conditional split transformation will be more helpful for the users. Okay, at any given situations, if you want to divide the data coming from one source to multiple destination, you can use this conditional split transformation. That is the reason that the icon of this transformation also is displaying like this. Okay, source 1 and destination 2. So source 1, destination 1 and destination 2. Okay, so one source, the data coming from one source will be supplied to multiple destinations. That is what we need to understand. Okay, so if you look at this table, how many departments data that we are having? We are having so many number of departments, department number 10, 20, 30, okay, 50, 60, 70 also. Okay, so forget about all these other departments. So I just want to consider 10, 20, 30. Okay, so I want to have only these three departments data, but not in the same destination, but in different destinations. Okay, so in this particular example, what I want to do, I want to load the data of this employee table I want to load this employee data table, employee data into multiple destinations based on their departments. Okay, so there are 10th department, there is a 20th department, there is a 30th department. Okay, so I want to load the department number 10 information into a flat file. Okay, I want to load department number 20 the information into a SQL Server table. I want to load department number 30 information into a Excel file. Okay, so what are the files? What are the destinations that I am going to discuss in this example? So flat file destination, SQL Server destination, and Excel destination. The data coming from where? From a SQL Server table. So the data coming from one table is going to be supplied to all the destinations. Okay. OLEDB source. Okay, all the columns. Conditional split transformation. Okay, now this is the area where you need to concentrate a little bit. Okay, so this is the condition specification on the area. So the condition will be applied to what? Applied to the data. Data will be available in the column. Okay, that is the reason. What is the first condition? Department number equal to 10. Okay, department number equal to 10. See why it is displaying red color. See, whenever you see any expression which is displaying in a red color, there are two types of meaning. Okay, one, it is incorrect. Another definition is it is incomplete. Either incorrect or incomplete. So at these situations only this will be displayed in a red color. If the expression or the condition or the logic will be displayed in red color, that means it is not correct. Okay, so something should be added or something needs to be corrected here. Okay, so the mistake is department number with equal to symbol. In SSIS, equal to means double equal to, not single equal to. That you can see in the operators concept, operators folder. Okay, so go to there, see equal. Equal to means two equal to symbols, not one equal to. See, it will be converted to red, black color. That means this is the correct one. Department number equal to 20 and sir, department number equal to 30. Okay, so what is this order output name? See, order based on the order of the condition, output name. So for each and every condition, this is the output name. Okay, so total 3 conditions. Just click on OK. Okay, and then OLEDB destination, one thing, and flat file destination, and then Excel destination. Case 1. Okay, and then case 1. So what you mean by case 1? The case 1 is nothing but condition 1. Okay, condition 1 I understood. So what is that condition? So what exactly that condition definition? Who will who will explain me that definition? See, that definition can be explained through the condition, this particular output name only. So here output name I have given case 1. That is nothing but what? So that is the case 1 name given by the SQL Server Integration Services Engine, not by user. Okay. So instead of writing a case 1, if you write with the department number 10. Okay, like this, department number 10. Okay, and department number 20 and department number 30. Okay, so just condition names, output names only. Now you can see department number 10. So what will happen whenever anybody will looks at this particular condition, they can understand that department number 10 data is traveling to flat file destination. Okay, so that type of user understandable names we should provide. Okay, and then so second one. Now you can see department number 2030. It is asking clearly. So which data you want to load? Department number 20. And then which data you want to load to this? Department number 30. That's it. Okay. Department 10 data, department number 20 data, department number 30 data. Okay. So total 3 departments data that we need to have. Okay. So see, why all these destinations having this red color icons? Because these components were not properly configured. Let us open this. Okay, flat file connection manager, click on new. Okay, now we need to provide the name, destination flat file connection manager. Okay, go to this browse. Where you want to save the file? I want to save the file in MSBI Training, SSIS 7:30 AM. Okay, department 10 data. Okay, column names in the first data row. Okay, go to columns, look at the columns. Okay, fine, you can see all the columns, look at here. Okay, and then go to mappings, verify all the columns having a proper mappings or not. Okay, and then department number 20. Okay, so this is department number 20 data. Okay, go to mappings, all the columns. Okay, and go to the Excel destination also. Okay, so Excel connection manager, browse. Department number 30 data. Okay, so take new Excel sheet. Okay, Excel destination, go to mappings. Okay, just see whatever the process, whatever the approach that we have followed to configure these 2 components. So we have followed the same approach and same process for this one also. But why this component is still having that red color icon? Because there is some error, okay, that we need to identify. So if you want to know what is that exact error, so just go to that, place that mouse over there. See what is that statement it is showing. Column e name cannot convert between Unicode and non-Unicode string data types. Where is the column e name? Where we can see the column e name? See in this employee table. Okay, so column name e name is nothing but what? This one. So there is another column which is earlier than e name. That is what? Employee number column. Okay, so the error is not coming for this column. Why only is coming from for this column? Okay, see. Here we are loading the data to Excel. Excel will always treats the data into a Unicode data type format. Okay, Excel will always treats the data into a Unicode data type format. So that is the reason. Whenever you want to apply, whenever you want to load the data into this Excel file, excuse me. Excuse me. See, Excel file will always treat the data into Unicode format, and SQL Server table will maintain the data in non-Unicode format. Okay, so here the advantage is Excel file will not treat all the data into Unicode format. Okay, whatever the data that is in string format, that data only will be available. I mean, it will consider into Unicode format. See, that is the reason. Even though there is another column earlier than in ename, so that issue we will not get for the ename column. Why? Because, sorry, employee number column. Why? Because the data is in integer format. Okay, so employee number column, manager column, high date column, salary, commission, department. For these columns, we don't have any issues. Why? Because so these columns contains the data in integer formats. Okay, but we will get the problems for employee name and job column. Only to these two columns we will get the problems. First of all, we got the problem for ename column. So how we can resolve this particular issue in order to load the data into SQL Server? See, ename column is a string related data. So here it is a non-Unicode string data type. That data type needs to be converted into Unicode string data type. For that, what we need to do? See. So directly we cannot convert the data type from one format to another format. That is the reason. So we have another alternative here. What is that? Data conversion. Okay. So department number 30. Okay. Okay, so which column data type you want to change? Ename column. Okay, so right now it is string underscore DTSTR. You need to change it to Unicode string. So that is string DT underscore WSTR. Okay, so since I have changed the data type name, I'm just giving a column called new ename. Okay, now let us connect to this component. Okay, just okay. Go to mappings. So here you can change, instead of new name from the input, what we need to provide? New ename. Okay, just to click on okay. Still we are having an issue. Then again, in order to identify that issue, please place your mouse over there. Again, this time column job. Okay, that means what? Job also will have the string data. Okay, that is the reason we need to take job, Unicode string DTSTR and new job. Okay, open this, go to mappings. So instead of job, we need to give new job. Okay, so this is how. Now see that particular one. So directly we cannot change the data type of those columns. So in between we have taken one data conversion transformation in order to change the data type from non-Unicode to Unicode, and then we are providing the data to Excel. Okay, now what is the next step? To execute. Everything is properly configured now. We can just execute. Okay, I understand this issue. Okay, 17 rows has supplied to conditional split. Conditional split supplied 3 rows to flat file destination, 5 rows to OLEDB destination, and 6 rows to Excel destination. Now let us verify all the destinations, whether the data has properly loaded or not. Department number 10. How many rows? 3 rows. Okay, only department 10 data. Okay, and go to this one. So department number 20, 5 rows. 10, 3 rows, 25 rows, 36 rows. Where is the 30? This one. So how many rows? 36 rows. Okay, that's it. This is how a conditional split transformation will be useful. Okay, so whenever you want to segregate the data based on a condition, you can use this particular transformation. And there is another transformation that is called multicast. Okay, look at this. So this transformation and this transformation looks similar. Okay, multicast transformation is mainly used to supply the data, supply same data to multiple destinations. There is no condition, there is no any segregation. Okay, so 100 rows, same 100 rows will be supplied to flat file, same 100 rows will be supplied to OLEDB, same 100 rows will be supplied to Excel. Okay, so the difference between conditional split and multicast is conditional split transformation will split the data based on the condition. Multicast, there will be no segregating. So it is used to send the data off from one source to multiple destinations at a time. Okay, so that is what. If you want to practice, you can practice. It is not that much important. Okay, so that's what. Any doubts so far?
No, good. I have a question, Narendra.
Yeah, please.
Actually, it's not a question. Can we able to such like text file, database destination, and Excel? Can we do like XML destination?
Yeah. See,
So if we do the XML destination just like this, then what we have to view the data?
see, actually XML destination is not that much easy to segregate, because we need to define the path and the root value, the node value, the element value, the attribute value. There are so many things. Okay, so that is the reason to XML nobody will load the data. Okay, because whatever the data that we are loading, that should be useful for some other purpose. Okay, so if you load the data into flat file, it may be useful for the application. OLEDB, we can read the data from the database. Excel, this is also can be used for application. Okay, or else end users will read the data from Excel in order to perform some analysis and all. If you load the data into XML, I don't think there will be a good advantage with that. Okay, and that too, it is a little complex when you compare with the other destinations.
Okay, so usually pretty much when we're doing the ETL,
Yeah,
usually in organization, I mean, they don't use it.
yeah.
Kind of, correct?
Actually, to be frankly speaking, all the data will be loaded into ultimately to the database. But see, why I have shown this particular approach here, we have a capability to send the data to multiple destinations at a time. So tomorrow I'm going to show you another example to get the data from multiple sources. So now to multiple destinations, one source, multiple destinations. Tomorrow, multiple sources, one destination. So just like a vice versa. I mean, just exactly opposite.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay, so any doubts so far to anybody?
Actually, I have another question.
Yeah, please tell me.
Okay, normally when we have say you give me a file and I need to load that file to database. And I create that IS package for that import.
Okay.
Then I need to put that IS package in SQL job agent. So, and every week you send me the file, that job will run on that particular day and load that data to database. Is it possible for that way?
Yeah, not a problem. We can do that. So anyway, the job scheduling and deployment process, so that will comes in administration's concepts. Right now we are in a development. So at the end, so after creating the packages, how to schedule the jobs. So that is another concept as part of my explanation.
But we'll do it later on.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Okay. So this is for today's session. Tomorrow we are going to discuss other topics with respect to all the transformations. Okay. So thanks for attending the session. Tomorrow also same time, same link. Okay. Thank you.
Narendra, I get a question for personally me. And I don't think so I can be, my job schedule has been changed. And I think I'm getting behind too as well. And I want to finish it as soon as possible with your training. Someday I may not attend, but you can send me the, the videos and documents every day.
Yes, correct.
So I'll just go through the next